to the City of Peoria Planning and Zoning Commission. The Planning and Zoning Commission is composed of volunteer citizens appointed by the City Council. The Commission is the designated hearing body for a range of land use applications, including general plan amendments, rezones, conditional use permits, and amendments to the zoning code. Upon recommendation by the Commission, general plan amendments, rezones, and zoning code amendments proceed forward to the Peoria City Council for final action. For conditional use permits, the Commission will make a final decision subject to appeal. All hearings are conducted in accordance with the rules for procedure requirements to allow an impartial and efficient hearing, and all Commission meetings are open to the public under the Arizona Open Meeting Law. Each case will be called in the order in which it appears on the agenda unless otherwise announced during the meeting. Once called, City staff will give a presentation of the case, followed by a presentation from the applicant if they so desire. After the applicant's presentation, members of the public who have submitted a speaker's request form will be called to speak by the Commission Chair. The applicant may be called to provide additional information, clarification, or a rebuttal. The Commission will discuss the case, may ask additional questions, and take action. Any member of the public wishing to speak must complete a speaker's request form and hand it to the planning assistant at the end of the dais. When speaking, please limit your comments to a maximum of 3 minutes and try not to repeat statements already made by others. We welcome your comments, and as fellow citizens of Peoria, we thank you in advance for your participation.
Chair Waitman Powell, I would like to call this June 5th, 2025 meeting to order. Well, let's start with a roll call. Welcome all to you all that have joined us. We will go ahead and start. Vice Chair Phyllis Senor.
Present.
Thank you. Commissioner Cottrell, absent. Commissioner Aguia, absent. I believe Commissioner Tony Fighter.
Present.
Commissioner Gaynor.
Present.
Thank you, Commissioners. We have made quorum. Thank you. This will be the final call for speaker request forms. If you'd like to address the Commission tonight, please fill out a speaker request form. We have them available at the entrance, and if not, you can go ahead and see Mrs. Duffy. She can hand you one as well. The first item on the consent agenda will be routine. All items on the consent agenda are considered routine in nature and will be enacted in one motion. We have 2 things on our consent agenda, 1C, minutes from the May 15, 2025 meeting, and then 2C, 7-Eleven at Olive and 67, which was the conditional use permit, CU 24-07. Commissioners, do I have a motion for the consent agenda?
I so move.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Commissioners, please vote. Thank you. Properly moved and seconded and passed unanimously. We are now going to be moving into our new business. We have item 3R, which is, I want to make sure it's JARS, JARS Dispensary. Conditional use permit, which is a CU 25-06, which will be discussion and possible action on a request to amend a conditional use permit to expand the existing marijuana dispensary located at 20340 North Lake Pleasant Road, Suite 107, into the adjacent suites. The expanded dispensary will encompass suites 105, 107. Just want to read that to give everybody some extra contents. Staff will do a better job than me, so staff, please present. Thank you.
Good evening, chairs, members of the commission. My name is Sarah Dirks. I have met most of you, but since this is my first time presenting in front of Commissioner Gaynor, I want to introduce myself. I'm a senior planner with the City of Peoria. Been here for about 5 years now, and I'll be presenting this case. So, as Commissioner Villasenor, Waitman, Powell, identified, the first case is JARS Dispensary, which is a CUP, CU 2506. The applicant for the case is the Pleasant Promenade LLC. The tenant is JARS Cannabis, and the applicant on file is Lindsay Shuby from Gamage and Burnham, and they're here and able to answer questions at the end of the meeting. The property is located at 20340 North Lake Pleasant Road. In Suite 105 through 107 is where they're requesting to locate. The applicant is requesting to have a combined total suite of 3,900 square feet, and they're requesting to amend an existing marijuana dispensary CUP. So to give you a little bit of context, the existing location is a multi-tenant commercial suite. There is an existing marijuana dispensary in one of the suites and a pizzeria in the adjacent suite, just directly south of it. To the north is a medical office center. To the east is Lake Pleasant Road, followed by the Ventana Lakes Village Center. And then to the south is Walgreens, followed by Beardsley Road and Maricopa County. And then to the west is multifamily residential. So as noted earlier, the applicant is currently operating out of one suite, which is that farther north building located on the right-hand side of your screen. And they're seeking to expand into the adjacent suites. Currently, they operate daily from 7 to 10, and they are seeking to maintain their current business hours. When you combine the two suites, that's how you get the total of 3,900 square feet. To give you a little bit of context, the existing storefront is about 1,600 square feet, and they're limited to a retail space about 816 square feet. And as you can see in the shaded yellow area, they have a small lobby area, which is approximately a 220 square foot waiting area. The property is located in C2, which allows for a conditional use permit for a marijuana dispensary, which is why the location is already permitted in this particular suite. They've been operating since 2017 when the location was established, and they've been operating for about 8 years now. To date, there is no known issues with the operation of this facility, and they're seeking to expand. Given that their request is a substantial change to what was previously approved, they're back here today for an amendment to the CUP. So the next three slides, you're going to see a lot of text, but essentially, I'm just going to go over the special limitations related to a marijuana dispensary. I'll summarize it as brief as I can, mostly focusing on the limitations, focusing on the location, the design, and the operation of a marijuana dispensary. Because, as mentioned before, the dispensary already exists at this location, and they're just seeking an expansion. A lot of these elements have already been reviewed with the 2017 approval, so I'm just kind of summarizing those items. So one of the requirements is that a co-location would occur for dual license facilities. So what that means is if there's a medical marijuana facility or a recreational marijuana facility, they also have medical marijuana. So this facility currently is dual licensed. They're planning to continue being dual licensed. One of the requirements is existing access from arterial roadway, and they have access from Lake Pleasant Road, which is an arterial roadway. There's several limitations related to separation requirements. They were all verified in 2017, although there has been some development that has occurred around it because it was approved in 2017. The location has already been established. The applicant is required to have all marijuana product behind the counter. They currently do that and are not planning on changing it. People going to the facility are not allowed to consume anything on premise, and they currently do that, are not in violation of current requirements, and aren't planning on changing that as well. Similarly, they're not allowed having alcohol on the property. There's no plan to change this with their current operations. Their current hours are from 7 to 10, which is the allowance that they're allowed within the code. There's no drive-through on the building, and they're not planning on adding a drive-through. They're required to have a security plan, which they had approved with the 2017 one, and it's a stipulation in the Exhibit 1 for conditions of approval. There's also other design requirements such as windows, storefront requirements, lighting requirements, signage requirements, outdoor seating area, and then just standard building practices. The building is currently in compliance with this. They're expanding into the adjacent suite. There's no indication that they're planning on adding outdoor seating or lighting. And when they do their tenant improvement, they'll have to go through a tenant improvement process with the building department and meet all codes at the time. So through a CUP process, there is always the allowance for a commission to oppose additional restrictions, such as limiting hours of operation, screening, and other appropriate measures. At this time, staff does not feel that an additional requirement is necessary. And on a note, the the city has continuing jurisdiction over a CUP, so if for some reason there is a substantial change to a case or an issue arises, it could potentially come back to Planning and Zoning Commission. That's kind of why we're here today, because they are now amending the case to expand their building floor plan. The case was noticed in accordance with city requirements, and we have not received any written opposition or support for the case. So with that, the key findings on the case is the use is permitted within the C2 zoning district with a conditional use permit. It meets the requirements for the CUP, and also there is no expectation of any adverse impact on adjacent neighbors. So staff recommends the approval of item 3R, CU 2506, as noted in Exhibit 1.
Thank you for that presentation, Mrs. Dirks. I appreciate it. Any questions for any of our commissioners? Commissioner Freider?
Thank you, Sarah, for all the detail. I appreciate the extensive detail. But net this all out, nothing changes except the size of the facility, right? No security, we're talking square footage, and we're still under the zoning maximum square footage. That's there? Okay, that's all I have.
Commissioner Freider, to my knowledge, there's no maximum square footage requirement related to a marijuana dispensary. It's primarily the elements that I outlined focused on location, operation, and the other element that I'm skipping over.
Madam Chair, members of the commission, that is correct. We have a very extensive list of requirements for dispensaries, starting with the location requirements, going into operational procedures. And so to Sarah's point, yes, this establishment, it's been operating in good standing for 8 years. It continues to operate that way. This will not change any of those variables outside of having a bigger suite and more space for the vestibule.
Okay, that's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Freider. Commissioner Villasenor?
Thank you, Chairwoman. Well, that was one of my questions was, are there size limitations? And then separation requirements I saw met in 2017. So can you educate me on separation requirements? And I'm assuming this no longer meets those requirements because it's grandfathered in? Or what's the history on that?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the commission. So for a qualifying location for a dispenser, there are a number of separation requirements. We have separation requirements from a residential district is one. I believe it was 500 feet. We have it from a daycare facility, from a retail liquor store. Right, at the time, I'm not recalling those exact numbers, but we have a number of land uses that it must separate for to be a qualifying location. This was established in 2017. It was a qualifying location. They continue to be a qualifying location. So this doesn't change it at all. They don't become, non-conforming at this point. They're already established locations.
And potentially what I'm assuming is that the additional development that's happened since then perhaps may have put them within those separation requirements?
Madam Chair, Commissioner Villasenor, no, they still meet the separation
Okay,
requirements.
great. And then just for my own edification, are there separation requirements between one marijuana facility and another?
Yes, 1 mile, I believe.
1 mile, and then,
Correct.
but did you say there's another one in this facility?
No, so this is, Madam Chair, Commissioner Villasenor, this is an existing business.
Correct.
The
I thought I
business is just
saw
expanding.
or heard that there's another one.
No.
No, okay, great, that's
expanding.
awesome, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Phyllis Senor, and thank you for that elaboration, Planning Director Hawkes. I know that we do have the applicant here, and we've had her here before. Usually she answers a lot of my questions. So what I'll do is, are there any other questions, Commissioners? Okay. Okay. So what I'll do is, usually I open the public hearing, but I know that we have the applicant, Mrs. Shuby, here, so I'll go ahead and hand it to you, and then I'll save any questions I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Madam Chair, Vice Chair, nice to see two ladies at the helm up there. Commissioners, and welcome, Commissioner Gaynor. Nice to see you here instead of at the City of Phoenix, but happy to have everyone here. Lindsay Shuby with law firm of Gamage and Burnham, 40 North Central, Phoenix, Arizona, 85004. Here on behalf of JARS Dispensary. Sarah did such a great job in her presentation. I've got a few slides that I'll walk you through, but Sarah hit all the high notes actually and more. So next slide, please. Again, this is the location. This is an existing dispensary. And Chair, Commissioners, I think you guys hit on it. It's a very small dispensary. Most jurisdictions do have size limitations. Peoria is unique in that it does not have size limitations, but this falls within the parameters of normal dispensaries. The existing location at 1,600 square feet is tiny. It's just very small, and it's hard to do business. And so we had an opportunity with the neighboring business that chose to relocate. I know it's a favorite pizza location, so we had nothing to do with them choosing to move. When they chose to move, we had the opportunity to expand with our landlord and therefore made the application with the city. Next slide, please. As was hit on, again, this has been in operation for 8 years without any issue with any of our friends in public safety. Again, we only have 813 square feet of retail space, which is very small. And when Prop 207 passed in 2020, the other Prop 207, what I like to call it, we do have the obligation to sell. And Vice Chair, I think that's what you're getting at. There will not be 2 dispensaries. There's 1 license. It's the original licensee that was there. When Prop 207 passed, they had the opportunity and obligation to sell both in the recreational market and maintain the medical clientele that they had. So that same license that has always been there will continue to operate there. Just have the opportunity to expand our space and make the environment a little more comfortable. Next slide, please. Again, the expanding suite, it only expands 2,266 square feet. Again, in the city of Phoenix, you are allowed to go up to 5,000 square feet. The city of Tucson, for a dual license facility, you can go up to 10,000 square feet. So still at the max of 3,900 square feet, we're still smaller than a lot. And again, as Sarah touched upon, no other exterior improvements. We will have to go through the building permit process. After we're granted a certificate of occupancy from the city of Peoria, we will have to get our approvals from the Department of Health Services. Next slide, please. And again, Sarah did a great job of taking you through all the CUP criteria. Again, we're in the exact same spot. If there are any nuisance, any odor, any of those things, we have the ability to bring the conditional use permit back and revoke that. But there's so many great technologies in noise, dust, odor, heat, all those criteria. There'll be no changes. We just, again, respectfully request approval so that we can have a little more breathing room in there. But we'll still intend to meet all the conditional use permit criteria. I will say the city of Peoria does have more operational criteria in their conditional use permit than any other jurisdiction that we work with, but we'll comply with all codes and respectfully request approval. Next slide. That's it.
Thank you, Mrs. Shuby. I don't have any speaker request forms. Did we have any extra ones that came in? Okay, just because I like banging the gavel, I would like for us to open the public hearing, close the public hearing, and I do see my fellow Commissioner Gaynor, who does have a question or comment. Commissioner?
Yeah, just a question. Thanks for the presentation. I'm satisfied with the documentation. Looks great. Great job. I do have a question that I don't see addressed, though. To your knowledge, has there been any, as it relates to the hours of operations, any complaints to police or neighborhood services in the past, or any issues like that? The current hour operations?
Chair, Commissioner Gaynor, to our knowledge, there's been no issues with the current operations.
And Chair, Vice Chair, Commissioner Gaynor, we agree. We did check with the owner-operator. Again, it's been the same licensee. We have had no issues with public safety.
Any other commissioners? No. So, Mrs. Shuby, great to see you again. So just my question, we're basically going from a smaller suite to trying to get to, it sounds like 2 suites, right? And make it a larger, I guess, a larger storefront?
Chair, exactly.
Okay.
We were in 1,600 square feet, a long, narrow suite. This is the new site plan that's up there.
Perfect,
As you can
perfect.
see, it used to be long and narrow with just an itty-bitty waiting room. And
Absolutely.
very confined. This just gives everyone a little more space in terms of,
Thank you.
Freedom,
So
yeah.
yes, for educational purposes, from 1 to 2 suites, just more space. I see no other comments or questions. Thank you, Mrs. Shuby, appreciate
you.
it. I don't see any other comments, questions. We do? Did I hear a button? Okay. If I do see no other comments, no other questions, commissioners, can I get a motion on item 3R?
I'll make a motion to approve conditional use permit 25-06, subject to the conditions of approval of Exhibit 1.
Second.
Thank you. Motion made by Commissioner Phyllis and Yor, seconded by Commissioner Gaynor. Commissioners, please vote. Thank you, Commissioners. The result is it passes unanimously. Thank you. All right, the next item on the agenda. Oh, wow. It's a light load today. The next item on the agenda is a call to the public. Are there any additional requests for public comment? Seeing none, let's move to our next order of business. I know we have reports from staff, so staff, please report.
Madam Chair, members of the commission, yeah, we're just trying to ease you into the summer break here. We had a light list tonight. Is there, let's go to the next slide. So as you can see on the screen, our next meeting really is after the 4th of July break. The next meeting is canceled on the 19th. That's a holiday for us. That's Juneteenth. July 3rd is canceled due to the July 4th holiday. But we will be back on July 17th. And I do want to make that's a really important night. We have a really important item there. So what we'll do in advance of that is we'll take a poll of the commission to make sure that we can get a quorum that night. I realize July gets into the summer breaks, but we do have an important item that night. And then if we can't get a quorum that night, we'll look for a special meeting. But we will send out communication to see if we have a quorum for that night, okay? Outside of that, we, just to give you a little update on the vacancy we have on the commission. So we do have an interview next week. So the the council boards and commission subcommittee is actively looking at applications, and we'll see if we have a good candidate next week. And with that, that's all I have.
Thank you, Planning Director Hawkes. We'll move on to our next item, which is Planning and Zoning Commission updates and reports on current events. Do we have any reports, commissioners? No, we don't. Seeing no further business, Planning Director Hawkes?
Madam Chair, I'm sorry, I did forget one thing. I apologize.
Come on.
I just wanted to mention that when we come back, and we'll give you advance notice, we will be moving into our police administration building, because this facility will be under renovation at that point. So we'll give you advance notice and all that. Sorry about that.
No problem. We appreciate.
Will the meetings be there for a while?
Through the rest of the year, yeah, rest of the calendar year. Yep.
All right, well, thank you for that. I'm looking forward to how this will look. I think I've seen some pictures, I've seen some, AI composed examples, so we're excited about that. Thank you for those updates. Planning Director Hawkes, seeing no further business, I now call this meeting adjourned.